Hello brothers! We will test FPS on Red Magic 10 Pro with Grid Legends mobile game. You can see that all the details are active in the graphics. Confetti, fireworks, volumetric lights, vehicle reflections, rain intensity, and many more details are active. We will race in different weather conditions on different tracks in the game. Let's start. First of all, I want to state this. I use two different screen recorders, and one of them can record 2K screen, but unfortunately it creates FPS problems. The FPS fluidity in the game is not in the video recorded by the screen recorder. In the other application I use, I do not have FPS problems, but it can record 1080p. For this reason, the quality in the game may not have been reflected in the video as I wanted. If anyone has a solution for Android, please write it in the comments. It's really annoying. Going back to the game, it is played at values close to 80 FPS during the day, but definitely watch the rest of the video. I also want you to see the performance in night, sunset, and rainy graphics. There were people who tested the game on different channels with iPhone 16 Pro Max and Red Magic 10 Pro, but they did this without removing the FPS lock for Android. Frankly, I don't know about other phone models, but this FPS lock is ridiculous for Red Magic 10 Pro. The phone can give twice the performance. Naturally, the Red Magic 10 Pro could not exceed 40 FPS in those tests. And the iPhone, which I mentioned at the beginning of the video, was considered the winner of the test because it played 60 FPS, with almost no details visible. I wanted you to see the truth here. It is not fair to make this comparison with a limited Android phone. Unfortunately, many game companies provide special resolution values and FPS advantages to iPhones due to special agreements made by Apple. However, since there are hundreds of brands on the Android side, such an agreement is not made with game companies. Of course, this provides advertising to the iOS side and emphasizes that it is superior in terms of games. In fact, the truth has nothing to do with it. I remember how the screen brightness was forced to be turned down 20 minutes after playing a game when I used an iPhone, ruining my entire gaming experience. The truth is not like the lies in advertisements or some influencers. That's why the most accurate test is your own experience. Going back to our test, we are playing another daytime map. This track is called Dubai. Again, the FPS value is very high and the game looks very smooth. During daytime races, you play with an average of 75 to 80 FPS. This value may drop slightly in scenes where other vehicles are crowded during the race. These are scenes with intense graphics and animations, and this is quite normal. I changed the FPS lock to 144 FPS, and many graphical details. I explained how to do this in detail in this video. Those who don't know can watch this video and do it themselves, or they can replace my preferences file in the comments section of that video with their own files. In the video, I shared two different files for Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 and Snapdragon 8 Elite. I also explained in detail how you can configure this file yourself. Don't forget to apply the following points that you should pay attention to while playing this game. Play these types of games using a cooler. Open the game with your phone's Game Turbo or any similar application. Activate the highest performance option through this application and clear your cache. Thus, you will enter the game with maximum performance while playing the game. You've seen the performance in daytime races. Now let's take a look at the night graphics and FPS values. We will be racing at night in London, one of the most detailed tracks in the game.
What do you need to know?
Sorry to interrupt, but the race is about to begin.
As you can see, it drops below 50 FPS in some places, because in these scenes there are other vehicles and many details and animations such as fireworks, volumetric lights, shadows, confetti, but this game has a perfect optimization. The game looks really smooth and beautiful even at 30 FPS. We can't see this in many other racing games. We should thank the developers for this, because I was playing this game with Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 before, and it looked very smooth and amazing when playing at 30 FPS. Of course, playing at 60 FPS is more enjoyable, but it doesn't ruin your gaming experience when playing at 30 FPS. To enable fireworks and confetti in the game, you need to make changes to the game file I mentioned. Otherwise, you will never get these visual details even if you play on the iPad M4 Pro. Although the game is not as good as the PlayStation 5, it reaches a quality almost equal to the PlayStation 4 graphics. This shows us how much mobile games have evolved. The game is also played very smoothly in night graphics. We can say that it is at an average of 60 FPS, and this night atmosphere really fascinates me. We've tried night graphics. Time to make it a little more challenging. Now let's try London sunset graphics. If you remember, in the story section of the game, we were racing on this map right at sunset, and I saw the game drop to 23 FPS with 8th Gen 2. It's a location and time period with lighting and details that really strain the processor, and you saw that the game started at 45-50 FPS. It's really a challenging stage for phones. I have to say that the game is still very smooth. Although the FPS varies, there is no lag in the game. There is no stuttering or frame skipping. It is harder to play the game with a controller. The touch controls of this game are better. However, the presence of touch buttons on the screen spoils the visual pleasure. That's why I play with a controller. Red Magic 10 Pro completes this race with an average of 50-60 FPS. However, other Snapdragon 8 Elite devices will play this race with lower FPS values. The reason for this is that they do not have coolers. Therefore, they will enter thermal throttling early and experience FPS drops. In other words, you need to know that not every 8 Elite device can show the same performance. And now, finally, let's see how the game can be played in rainy weather. Rain graphics and ground reflections are also quite challenging details for graphics processors. I also keep the Reduce Rain Intensity setting off in the game settings, because this setting reduces the rain intensity and reduces the visual effect of the rain. I keep this setting off so that the game can be played with maximum effects. But if your device is having difficulty, you can turn this setting on.
Your teammates crashed.
In the rain graphics, you can see that the game was played at 55-60 FPS. Although it exceeded 60 FPS in some places, the average was between 55-60. Many of my viewers were curious about the game's FPS test. If you liked the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Your support means a lot to me. See you in the next videos. Goodbye.